I feel like people always want, and I'm in camp, whether it's footballers who's got friends and family around them and agents, or we're talking boxers, which is even more important with a camp. Yeah, you have people who gas you up. Yeah, you have people who train you and fix you if you have injuries. But you need someone who's just real as well. You need someone who's honest, bro.
Like a man saying, like with Gareth Bale, bro. Man said, where did I play? I used to play up front, but back in the day, they used to play 2 up front, and I used to be the number 10, second striker, innit? Like, but
what do you mean by
play up front on my own? But like Bale as well, bro. Like his body's finished. You know them ones. Gareth Bale.
I feel like someone like Bale is more aware. He probably knows. Like,
Bale knows that he can't do what he used. But I'm saying, yeah, certain players and certain managers see the name Gareth Bale and probably think, yo, he's still a valuable asset. But really, he's not. You're better off getting a young player that is fully fit, yeah, and consistent. Will probably give you a higher output.
For real.
You know them ones. Like signing the Gareth Bale, you better off signing the Jota.
You're right. The only benefit of Bale is that
his name. He sells shirts.
Prestige. Sell shirts.
And to have in the dressing room.
Yeah, and it's just good to have in the dressing room. Like, oh, we've got Gareth Bale in the dressing room. That's it.
But that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people, like with Eriksen, he needs to accept, yeah, that bruv, the output that you were putting out before, yeah, you can't do that no more. So either you need to adapt your game, yeah, or you need to change positions or something to add longevity, because what you used to be able to do, you can't do it no more, bruv.
Yeah. But that's why you see players who have players like Wayne Rooney, you know, he was aware that he didn't have the legs anymore. Do you know? I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one who was like, I can't play up front anymore. I don't have the legs to be.
I think the LVG dropped man back, you know, them ones because of his passing. But I don't think that Wayne Rooney's
But do you think his fitness that done it? Do you think he would?
I think it is his fitness, but I also don't think that he's got the necessary tools to play that wing mirror football. Like that's not what he's built for. You know them ones.
Yeah.
Like you see in football, the wing mirrors. You know, there's certain players that look like they've got all day on the ball and they look like they're never rushing. You can't teach that. You know them ones. You know when you play the ball into Scholes and you just know that he's just gonna drop his shoulder, go around, and he just knows where the player is. Rooney don't have that. Do you know what I mean? And you can't teach that.
Yeah, Rooney's only got the vision when he has time to look.
When he's got time, bruv. Listen, if you give Wayne Rooney half a yard, he'll ping a 70-yard ball in the end of someone's toe.
Trust me.
But if you press him, he's not gonna roll you. Do you know what I'm saying? Drop a shoulder, take a man out of the game, and then play. Nah, that's not him, innit? No. And the thing is, when you play someone in central midfield at the highest level when they're being pressed and that, they get found out. Look how much players like KDB and them, man, like give the ball away when they get pressed. So imagine if it's someone like Rooney that can't even really move like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's not disrespect to him.
He's not living playing in this era where everyone's pressing all the time, boy. Do you know what I'm saying? Them times he had a little bit more time on the ball.
Yeah.
And he's able to do some more work with it. Do you know what I'm saying? But now, bro, with some of the pressing, he would just get snuffed out quickly. Do you know what I mean?
This is what I'm trying to say, bro. And Eriksen is a number 10. He's always been a number 10. Do you know what I mean? But in a good system, Eriksen's gotten away with playing an 8 in the 8 role and in the 6 role.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is, if you don't have good man around Eriksen, there's nothing, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Christian Eriksen reminds me a bit of what Donny van der Beek is, but without Donny's athleticism. Donny can get up and down the pitch. Eriksen can't do that. Eriksen can't move like Donny. If Eriksen was more athletic, he would be more adaptable. But he's not athletic. He's a throwback. Do you know what I'm saying? Players like him, players like Ozil, Mata, the game's evolved past.
But people don't. That's what I'm saying. The managers don't like players like that anymore, though.
No, they don't, because you have to be able to press, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just need to be a 6 now. Eriksen just needs to change his game and say, you know what, I'm going to be a 6 and do what Jorginho does.
I can't see him doing that, to be honest.
But he has to, or else his career's done at the top level.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
You can go to Bundesliga.
Honestly, bro, because I used to be a number 10, like in those days. But if I came back to playing football now, bro, I'd probably play in the 6. Because I can pass and I'm good on the ball, bro. And I can beat a man. So it's one of them ones where you get so much space in the 6, bro. I'd never give the ball away. Because you get so much room, bro. When you're used to playing up front and there's always a man around you when you receive the ball, when you drop into the 6, bro, you can see the whole pitch. But it's easy. Pick up the ball off the centre back, free pass. You know that was.
But if you're looking at players like Eriksen, yeah, who have to change up his whole game to do that.
He would, and I think he has to. And I think he has to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of footballers need to understand that in the game has evolved. You see the way managers have to understand that the game's evolved. Like, I believe that the game's evolved past Pep's tiki-taka stuff. Like, it's too predictable now.
No, you're right. And players need to do more. Every player needs to do more on the field now than before. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like we forget, like 20 years ago, man like Shearer literally could just hang around that D, around the penalty box and go for that head or that.
Strikers only had to score goals.
Literally.
In the 90s, you only got judged on scoring goals. No one cared about your link-up play, nothing. When Andy Cole joined Man United, when Andy Cole joined Man United from Newcastle, the first thing they said is, we don't care if you scored 36 goals. You need to do more than score goals at Man United.
For real.
And that's why Lukaku didn't last here.
Yeah.
Because you have to do more than score goals at Man United. Because at the top level, just scoring goals ain't enough.
It is. It's not.
You have to contribute to the whole team, bro. And now strikers have to be the guy that's going to link the play, hold the ball up, bring other people in, and score goals, bro. You have to do so much more. Back in the day, you could just be a finisher. That's why someone like a Jermaine Defoe and that, if he was coming through in this era of football, he would never make it. Know what I mean? That's it. You got a link, bro. It's a completely different game, my guy.
Also, the whole the striking situation, because so many people are now playing with obviously the red arrows going forward, which means really a lot of the time as a striker, you're isolated in a box, on your own. So your football brain, your positioning has to be so much better. Do you know what I'm saying? Like years ago, bro, every team played two up top, so you could just get balls swung in. And bro, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? You can get your head on it because there's so much less pressure around you. Now, bro, defenders are swarming players in the box. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to be so intelligent now and you have to be so good at positioning if you're a centre forward now in the league. So good. And that's why a lot of people are asking the question on Gabriel Jesus. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Aguero is the elite guy around the box with 3 or 4 men around him. He can still make something happen. And
Jesus is a scrub, but he's a press merchant. So in the modern game, your manager's gonna pick a Jesus over a Sergio Aguero.
Oh, bro, even 3 years ago when Pep first got here, I remember certain games that Aguero was benched in that, and Jesus was playing. And I remember him talking in press conferences how much he loves this guy, in it. Do you know what I'm saying? That was when they first got him. And I feel like there's something about him, like I said, based on the way he plays, bro, he just loves the guy, innit? He loves it. He's definitely one of his favorite players. Do you know what I'm saying? And he wants to make him work. And I feel like he's so invested in him. He's playing him week in, week out, and he's pressing for him to work. But the reality is, bro, he is a shadow. I know he plays different. He's a shadow of what Aguero does for them, man. Shadow.
Yeah. But look at this, like man saying target men used to link the play back in the day as well, but natural number 9s were indeed required to do less. Yeah, but now you have to be the target man and the finisher. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why players like Tammy Abraham exist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because now you have to be the big guy that holds the ball up, but also athletic enough here to get on the end of through passes, get on the end of headers. You have to be able to do everything.
I remember target men weren't doing all them, like latching onto free.
Target men were like, bring the ball down, lay it off. You
bro,
know
or that classic head down, innit?
Knock it down for someone, or you're flicking it on. A man's going in and in behind, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I know that, and that's why I struggled here as well, bro. Because I'm 5'10", so I'm not tall enough to be the target man. Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't rapid, so I wasn't quick enough to be the Theo Walcott. You know them ones. Man just had a banging touch, and could hold the ball up. But then I wasn't big physically, so it was like I weren't big enough to be a target man. I weren't quick enough to be the number 9. So I would just play in the hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just pick up the ball in space and just have fun with it, bro. But in England, they never used to have that player. They never used to have number 10s in England. Yeah. It was target man and then the little quick guy to flick it on, bro. It's only when Dennis Bergkamp, Zola, and I think like Eric Cantona, like the Di Canios and that, them man was special players. But in the English game, we never had number 10s. Now, I mean, before Wayne Rooney, man never really had a player that wasn't just a flipping, either a scrappy poacher or a big lump, bro. You was either Bobby Zamora, yeah, or Peter Crouch, or Emil Heskey, or you were just quick like Owen, bruv.
Yeah.
That was it. We never had no tech ballers. You know them? So it's one of them ones where
like Kevin Phillips banging them in and that.
You see what I mean? Just them little scrappy 6-yard box goals.
Kevin Davis.
See what I mean? So now in football, yeah, you have to be the target man and the little man if you play up front. Now I'm saying, and now if you're Dennis Bergkamp or something like that, in this era of football, he would have had to play in the 10, but then he weren't really athletic enough to press. So he probably wouldn't even be getting played as much.
No.
They would probably play him as a striker now, like in a false 19, like what they're doing with Firmino.
For real.
They'll play Dennis Bergkamp up front.
You know the problem is there's the way the game's move now, yeah, especially when you're playing against teams that are better than you and don't have a lot of possession. If you can't, regardless of where you are on the field, if you can't beat a man, and you don't have the ability to sidestep a man and beat him, whether it's on pace or intelligence, you really don't have a place in the team, because the way the ball is, bro, sometimes you're going to only get the ball 2 or 3 times and a half.
Yeah.
And you can't knock it down for someone to run onto, because it's crowded out. So you need to be able to, once you got that ball, you can do something with it. And that's why a lot of these old school target men of the past, these players that we're talking about, bro, you can try and fight. I'll struggle to find any videos of the likes of Kevin Davis, Kevin Phillips, Shearer beating a man. They weren't beating a man unless they were doing a kickball and run around.
They man never had it, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? All they had was accuracy on finishing. They finished like crazy, but bro, those sort of players don't really exist anymore. Like
that's why man saying about Haaland. That's why my question marks were over Haaland as well. When people said, "Oh, United should sign Haaland," I said, "Listen, he'll struggle in his team because we don't create enough chances."
100%.
He's a top finisher, but bruv, finishers need chances.
Trust me.
United don't create chances.
Trust me.
You see what I mean? United don't create chances, and that's why I said going to Dortmund was the best thing for him.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? The best thing for him, because
he probably clocked that, innit?
Yeah, of course, bruv. He would have struggled like Lukaku struggled. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not a link man.
These times
he's not like a Lewandowski that you could play it into and he can hold it, pin a player, lay
and
it.
By the way, Lewandowski's got the intelligence of players like Thomas Muller.
Like a number 10, like intelligence.
And players like him, he's elite. Thomas Muller is elite in his movement. Do you know what I'm saying? One of the best off the ball players I've seen. Do you know what I'm saying? So players like that make jobs for number 9 so much easier, because they'll move players away from you and allow you to have space. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why if you haven't got a player, bro, sometimes Man United make that mistake. That's why sometimes when you've got a player like Greenwood who needs the ball and a couple of seconds to look up and bang it in. But if you haven't got a player like, again, not cussing, but if you've got a player like Rashford who's not intelligent enough to move a man away, move a couple of players away and make those runs to kind of to move the gaze away from Greenwood. If you haven't got a player like that, if you haven't got a player with an intelligence higher than Rashford, a footballing brain higher than Rashford, bro, you're just going to struggle.
And that's what it is. And then man just running straight lines. And that's what Timo Werner reminds me of. And this is why he's struggling at the moment, because he's not smart. And that's just all it is. The game has changed completely. Do you know what I mean? And now I used to play classic number 10. So like second striker, I was still a striker, but I used to drop into this in the hole between the midfield and the strikers, because back in the day, they used to play 4-4-2s, bro. You know how much space you get, as a number 10 dropping into that little pocket, because they never had DMs, bro. They had 2 box-to-box midfielders. So you drop in that pocket and you get bare time. You know them ones. And like Lewandowski, exactly. Perfect number 9. Even players like Edin Dzeko and that. So underrated. Holds the ball well. Sick finisher. Can shoot with both feet. Athletic. Do you know what I'm saying? Like them kind of strikers, Like they're in the modern game. Different gravy, bruv.